Ah, yes, pandas. Nature's multi-million-dollar mistake wrapped in a cute package. These things are basically evolutionary failures that humanity has decided to keep on life support because they look like they'd give good hugs. We're talking about an animal that has the digestive system of a carnivore, but chose to eat one of the least nutritious plants on Earth, can't figure out how sex works without instructional videos, and sometimes just crushes their own babies by accident. By the end of this, you'll understand why nature has been trying to delete these things for centuries, and we keep hitting undo because they're adorable. Let's get into it. The diet disaster. Let's start with the fact that pandas are carnivores who decided to become the world's worst vegetarians. Most people think pandas are out here living their best life, peacefully munching bamboo in some zen-like harmony with nature. Cute, simple, pure vibes. But here's the thing, pandas have the digestive system of a carnivore but eat bamboo, which is literally one of the least nutritious plants on Earth. Their stomachs can only digest about 17% of what they eat. 17. That means 83% of everything they consume just passes through like they're a bamboo processing plant with no quality control. So to actually survive, these things have to eat 26 to 84 pounds of bamboo every single day. They spend 14 hours a day eating just to get the caloric equivalent of what you'd get from a decent cheeseburger. It's like if you decided to survive entirely on tree bark and sawdust. Sure, you could technically eat it, but your body would be screaming, "What the hell are you doing?" the entire time. And here's where it gets even more ridiculous. Pandas lack the genes to properly digest cellulose, which is what bamboo is made of. They also lost their ability to taste umami, that savory, meaty flavor, which is probably why they gave up on being actual carnivores in the first place. Evolution gave them one job: be a bear, hunt things, survive. And they said, nah, I'm going to eat grass sticks instead. And because bamboo has virtually zero nutritional value, pandas have basically no energy for anything else. No hunting, no playing, barely any interest in mating. They chose the biological equivalent of a diet made entirely of cardboard, and now they're too tired to exist. Congrats, pandas. You played yourself. The mating incompetence. Now let's talk about why these things can't reproduce without pornography and Viagra. Yes, really. Most people assume pandas are just shy or picky about mating, like maybe they need the right mood lighting or some romantic ambiance. Nope. Female pandas are only fertile for 24 to 72 hours per year. That's a 2 to 3 day window out of 365 days. But here's the kicker, the males have absolutely no idea what to do even when given the opportunity. Captive male pandas frequently don't understand how sex works. They'll mount the female backwards, sideways, or just stand there looking confused, like they forgot what they came in the room for. Some zoos have literally resorted to showing pandas panda porn, actual videos of other pandas mating, to teach them the mechanics. Imagine if humans could only get pregnant 3 days a year, and when that window finally opened, dudes just completely forgot how their equipment worked. Just standing there like, do I put it in the ear? Is that where babies come from? That's pandas. In captivity, these animals have such pathetically low libido that zookeepers give male pandas Viagra. Actual Viagra. They've also tried playing Barry White, setting up romantic enclosures, and when all else fails, they just artificially inseminate because natural panda sex has maybe a 10% success rate. In the wild, it's slightly better, but still hilariously incompetent for a species that's supposedly trying to survive. Evolution literally said, I'm going to give you one chance per year to continue your species. And pandas responded with, bet. We're going to forget how reproduction works and take a nap instead. This is natural selection straight up begging them to quit, and they're somehow still here because humans refuse to let them fail. The parenting nightmare. But wait, it gets worse. On the rare occasion they actually manage to make a baby, pandas are terrible mothers. Like criminally negligent terrible. People picture devoted mama pandas cradling their adorable cubs with maternal instinct and gentle care, right? Wrong. Pandas often have twins. And when they do, the mother looks at both cubs and just picks one. She abandons the other one to die. Just straight up decides, I'm only raising one of you, and leaves the other to starve. In captivity, zookeepers have to secretly swap the twins every few hours, tricking the mother into raising both by making her think she only has one cub at a time. Without human intervention, that abandoned twin dies within days. Imagine giving birth to twins and being like, hey, I'm only feeling one of these today, and just tossing the other in the trash. That's pandas. They Sophie's Choice their own babies, except nobody's forcing them to. They just can't be bothered with the extra work. And here's why it's even more messed up. Panda cubs are born horrifyingly underdeveloped. We're talking pink, hairless, blind, about the size of a stick of butter, weighing 1/900th of their mother's weight. They're so pathetically helpless that the mother has to constantly hold them, or they'll die from exposure. Since she can barely manage one, she just abandons the weaker twin. It's brutal efficiency, sure, but it's still infanticide. And the cubs that do survive, they're not out of the woods yet. Panda mothers sometimes accidentally crush their babies while sleeping, because these animals literally can't even take a nap without risking manslaughter. At this point, nature's just straight up trolling them. Oh, you finally managed to reproduce? Cool, now roll over and commit accidental homicide. The survival failure. Let's be real here. Pandas are only alive because humans decided they're too cute to die. Otherwise, nature would have deleted them centuries ago. Most people think pandas are endangered because of habitat loss and human interference, like we're the villains in their survival story. And sure, deforestation doesn't help, but pandas were already failing long before humans got involved. They have virtually no natural predators as adults, yet their population was never thriving even in ideal conditions. They have no energy because of their trash diet, zero interest in mating because of their broken biology. They abandon half their babies because they're terrible parents, and they have absolutely no survival instincts whatsoever. Panda cubs are vulnerable to leopards and wild dogs, but even without predators in the picture, pandas are just fundamentally bad at being alive. It's honestly impressive how incompetent they are. Pandas are like that person who refuses to get a job, eats nothing but ramen, ghosts every romantic opportunity, and still somehow expects to thrive in life. Except instead of hitting rock bottom and learning a lesson, they get a GoFundMe and international support because they have a cute face. Here's the thing though, pandas have been around for 2 to 3 million years, but they've been in decline for thousands of years, way before modern deforestation became a thing. Their overspecialization on bamboo made them evolutionarily fragile. When bamboo forests naturally declined in certain areas, pandas couldn't adapt. They're a textbook example of putting all your eggs in one basket and then dropping the basket. Every other bear species is out here thriving. Grizzlies hunting salmon, black bears raiding campsites, polar bears being apex predators. Meanwhile, pandas are in the corner, eating celery sticks, wondering why existence is so difficult. The animal kingdom has a Darwin Award category, and pandas are lifetime achievement winners. The conservation scam. And here's the wildest part. We've spent over $300 million keeping pandas alive. For what? So they can continue being professionally incompetent at existence? Most people think saving pandas is noble conservation work, like we're preserving biodiversity and protecting a precious species for future generations. But here's the truth. Pandas are what conservationists call a flagship species, which is basically a fancy way of saying they're a mascot that attracts donor money. Conservationists will privately admit that the money we dump into pandas could save dozens of other critically endangered species that actually have a fighting chance at survival. We're pouring resources into an animal that actively doesn't want to survive, while other species die in silence because they're not cute enough for the WWF logo. And it gets worse. China essentially holds pandas hostage for diplomacy and tourist dollars. Zoos pay $1 million per year just to rent a panda. $1 million. Per year, per panda. It's basically a biological protection racket. Nice zoo you got there. Shame if it didn't have any pandas. That'll be $1 million annually. Thanks. It's like if we spent the entire education budget on one kid who refuses to study, skips every class, and eats glue, while all the other students are literally begging for textbooks. But that one kid is adorable, so we just keep throwing money at them, hoping they'll figure it out. Meanwhile, Sumatran rhinos, vaquitas, and Javan leopards are going functionally extinct because they're not marketable enough. Conservation triage is real and resources are finite. Every dollar spent on pandas is a dollar not spent on species that actually want to live. Don't get me wrong, extinction is sad. But pandas are nature's way of saying some things aren't meant to last, and we just refuse to accept it because they look like oversized stuffed animals. So there you have it. Pandas, the animal equivalent of keeping a failed business open because you like the logo. I know I just ruined every adorable panda video you've ever watched. You're welcome. Next time you see one of those cute panda cub compilations, just remember that's a walking extinction event held together by Viagra, zookeeper trickery, and international guilt money. We're not saving pandas, we're basically taxiderming a species in real time and calling it conservation. But hey, they're still cute as hell though. And honestly, that's their only evolutionary strategy, and it's somehow working. So maybe they're not the stupid ones, maybe we are. Nah, they're definitely stupid, but I'd still die for one.